Hello, my name is Robert Kay. I am product specialist here at Atlas Copco. Today we're going to talk about ToolsNet 8. So let's get into the software. So when you have a controller connected to ToolsNet, you can start running reports. In order to do that, you click on the left-hand side button called Reports. And here you see all of the standard reports that are available. In general, you will need to select a date range for the data you're looking for example, the last week, and you will need to select the controller that you're interested in, which station. If you do not select the station, you will look for all data in the whole plant. So all controllers that connect will by default appear in a folder depending on the system type. So for instance, the PowerFocus 4000 will appear under the PowerFocus folder, and the PowerFocus 6000 controller will appear under the PF6 series folder. When you are looking for station data, it is easier to find the data if you organize the station by assembly line. You can do this by creating a custom tool structure, which is quite simple. So go to the Administration Center, click on Manage Structures. And from here, click on Create Structure and give it a name of the plant or the location. So I will type in Auburn Hills. And then I create a folder for each assembly line. For example, assembly line 1 and number 2. And from here I can select the controllers that are connected or have been connected to ToolsNet, and I place these in the structure by clicking on the station and dragging it over and releasing the mouse button on the assembly line. Now we'll just drag a few stations over. So if I run a report on line 2, I will look for data for everything that is directly in line 2 or in a subfolder. And you can create as many subfolders as you want. So if I run a report, I can go back to reports and result, last 7 days, and I will find my station under the new tool structure that I created, line 1, and I can select a program name or I can just leave it at all. So if I don't select this program name, it will search for all data. Some reports have more options and more filters. So if I click on Run Advanced, I get a few options, so I can narrow it down to a VIN number or a product serial number. And I can select the type of result I want. Am I looking for all data, or am I looking for only green lights or OKs? And looking at every result, so each result has one row, and if I click on this little triangle, it expands it, and I can see all of the traces for that rundown. I can access the trace by simply clicking on it. I can get more information on the Details tab, and there's an arrow to expand it even more. You can see here we are recording the serial number of the product. I have the serial number of the tool, model number, and a host of other parameters. So if you want to do a trace overlay, you can either click on the trace you want. You can select multiple traces here by checking the boxes, or you can select the first 50 traces by clicking on this checkbox above. And when you want to do an overlay, you select them and click on the trace icon. And here you can see those 4 traces are represented as 4 different layers, and you can hide them if you want to by simply clicking on the name. And as each rundown can have a different final angle, or the angle of the rundown can vary a lot, I can synchronize the traces on a measurement point like peak torque. Some systems send other measurement values like rundown complete and first target. If I want to compare a trace with a reference trace or a golden trace that was determined 6 months ago when the station was validated, I can go into Program Management. I will locate the program by using the tool structure. And here you can see the program name, program number, and under the column with a trace symbol there is a green plus sign. And here ToolsNet is asking me to select a known good trace that looks the way it should. So I do this by just selecting the date range to look for one. I can narrow it down to hiding traces that are not interesting. So what you do here is you select the trace that will be used as a reference trace and click Save. Then when I go back to the result report, I will put in the same information. Click on Run Report, and when I do a trace overlay here, there is now an additional layer called Reference Trace, and you will see that trace as a dotted line in the background. And that is how you run a report. If you would like to learn more, please contact your local Atlas Copco representative. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.